well done tonight. This little filly racing really well. She's not much to look at, but she's got a great turn of speed and a great zest for racing.
Yeah, thank you, Rob. It's nice to be back at Melton and to be allowed to get out and about just a fraction. And it's good to see a few faces that you haven't seen for a while, and yeah, catch up. It's good to see everyone's still going well and fit and well and healthy.
Yeah, it was interesting. I arrived tonight. I've seen Kima Frenning, Kerryn Manning, yourself. Just everyone's faces have lit up just to be back here at Tabcorp Park, Melton. It's still the home of harness racing here in Victoria. And it's always special to be racing here.
Yeah, it's it's our headquarters, and this is where we strive to be. Although we're not, technically here at a Metro meeting, it's Melton on a Saturday night, and going forward, it'll be good to get back to Metro racing, and I'm excited about what the summer's going to hold for harness racing. I know it's been an unfortunate time, but it could even be a blessing in disguise with a lot of our really good races being pushed back a piece in time, and it could be a whole new ball game for harness racing.
I was talking about the horse on Trot's Vision, saying he was right up to these horses. It all came down to the barrier draw, and I must admit, when you got into 1-1, I thought, you're the horse to beat, and you definitely delivered. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Robbie. Yeah, he's been going terrific, the horse. Obviously, the form, you don't know how it lines up, but certainly his runs have been good enough to have thought he would go good tonight in this field. But like you said, the draw was a bit tricky. He had a lot of luck getting the 1-1 when the other two cut at each other, and that made all the difference. He was able to outsprint Kima in the straight because she'd done a fair bit of work.
He's really taken some steps forward, this horse. He's pretty tough, isn't he? And at the same time, he's got plenty of ability. He
has, yeah. He's always shown ability. He's always been a bit naughty at times. In the past, he's galloped in his races a few times, but always shown that he's got a bit of talent. We're lucky enough to get to train him from Barry, who sent him up and said, see how he goes, and he was very, very fat when he came. He's still a little bit fat now, but he's trimming up and getting fitter, and he works quite okay at home, and he seems to be a bit more of a racehorse. He does sprint better at the races, and at home you wouldn't think he would sprint like he did, but yeah, really happy with him.
You would have been giggling in the run because you were just in the right spot all the way through there to look a real big chance.
Yeah, that's right, Robbie. As you said, his 2 runs first up have been really good. I didn't think he'd get beat at the top of the straight first up, and on a crest of a wave sprinted really good that night. And then last start, I just got exposed a fraction too early on him outside Crime Rider at about the 500, and he's got a really, really good turn of speed, but he's probably only got about, at high speed, he can go for about 300. It was just a fraction too far out at Terang, and yeah, tonight the race just could not have been scripted any better for him.
He's a 5-year-old. He's not big in stature, Grant. He's only had, that was only his 18th lifetime start. Had a decent break from that run in June at Kilmore to Terang in May. What issues did you have with him?
No, there's no issues. It's just trying to get him to grow up, Robbie. As you said, he's tiny, but he seriously suffers from small man syndrome. He can get very angry and very hot. This time in, he's been really good. We actually, a lot of our horses, we get jogged up elsewhere, and we decided to jog him up at home, so he just was there from day one. And he has been a much nicer horse to handle this time in, and we've had to change our ways with him. If he wants to argue with you, you just can't argue back because it turns into a battle, and he refuses to give up. So, you've just got to go with him, and he has really seemed to turn the corner. I don't know how far he will go, but I think he can sit on high speed for a long way and still have a pretty good kick left at the end.
Jodie Quinlan's got all the power on the track. Major times, great win, 155.4.
Yeah, Rob, he carved out a nice last 1200.
He's a strong horse, isn't he? He's just able to just keep reeling off those really solid quarters, which makes it very hard for horses back in the field. In particular, when you got that first quarter of 31, that was enough to know that the last 1200 was going to be run solid.
Yeah, he did a little bit to get across and was able to get that second breather, and then I started to roll along, and he was all out turning for home. Sort of thought the inside horse was going to get over me, but to his credit, he really boxed on when it got to him.
You've had good partnership with the horse so far?
Yeah, he's been really good to me and had quite a few wins on him. So yeah, he's a nice little horse.
As sharp as we've seen him.
Yeah, obviously you touched on it before the race. It was sort of my fault there, 2 starts back where he, probably should have done something similar to what he did tonight back then. So yeah, good to sort of make up for that mistake.
He's been a lovely horse since joining your team.
Sure has. Yeah, he's a funny horse around the place. Like he's got funny mannerisms in himself around the place, the way he does things, and little things can upset him some days more than others. But out on the track, he's actually quite a professional sort of horse, and yeah, he just keeps getting the job done week in, week out, which is, yeah, they're hard to find, those sort of horses that can race as tough as he does, and can do it on a regular basis.
Obviously, the opening of the regions a little bit more this week. How have you found the week?
Yeah, good. Yeah, well, not real keen on the a bit longer distance travel now to get to the races, but had the first taste of that the other day at Stall, but I was lucky enough to come home with a couple of winners, so that made it all worthwhile. But it was really good to see a few friendly faces that I haven't seen for nearly a couple of months now, and again tonight too. Good to have the Raiders from the outer west circle now here with us at Melton. So yeah, it's really good, and we'll be looking forward to in the coming month when we sort of get back to normal.
Jack, just saying, Richie's doing a great job with his horses at the moment. He's got a small team, but he's trying to build up his numbers. But we can just see some ongoing improvement with all of his horses' consistencies and the way they're performing out on the track.
Yeah, 100%. His team's been going pretty well airborne of late, and this horse is no exception. Since he's joined his stable, he's really hit his straps, and he's not a superstar, but he's an honest little horse, and Richie's definitely getting the best out of him.
Yeah, we saw him during summer, didn't we? Like, in those Mercury races, he just had to step up, and it's like the tough racing sort of toughened the horse up.
Yeah, yep, I agree with you there. Sort of the higher grade, the races he got into, probably the better he looked. Partly probably because of his racing style. He's pretty laid back sort of customer, and I think with a bit more high tempo, middle stages probably suits him better than rather just dashing home and But no, all credit to Richie how he's got him going at the minute.
Kate Gath joins us after the last race with McGlovin. Early night, you could have gone a bit quicker, so we got home quicker.
I thought it went quick enough, Rob, actually. Sort of backing him up, so quickly from first up run last week. Sort of wasn't the plan, but it wasn't a super hard race, so we thought, we'll run him again this week, and then won't run him next week. So, but he went well, and he's a bit of a lazy character out in front, and he just had to do what he had to do.
Yeah, okay, you'll be anxiously waiting to see what this calendar looks like for all the trotters. Obviously, he's on track, happy with him, up and looking forward to the future with him now. And Tornado Valley, he's back in work?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's been back a couple of weeks, so he's still a fair way off yet. But obviously, he's getting on a little bit in age, Tornado Valley, so we'll see how he comes back. But he looks good, and he's feeling good, and so far so good. So we can only hope that he can continue on where he left off last season.